Yo, okay, so we're gonna try this new bit, right? Because you know that my man Dave got booted off of YouTube for a little bit because someone put a strike on him, right? So he was dropping some fire over there on Rumble, right? So check this out. Let's just go ahead and watch and see what he says, man. This is gonna be kind of fun, all right? I'm gonna just hit play and let it roll.
My man Joe Graham dropped me some old hot fire.
Let's turn that volume up.
Nice little killer beat called Itching. Let's get it. Chillin' with my man Joe, he straight real though. Dropping me them beats got me feeling like Piscopo, kinda big though. Steroids, yes, no. Stop that junk, yo, dude. I spit like pitiful. I'm itching in the kitchen cause I got that law game. People acting crazy, yo, hating on my law name. Where's my man Adam? He'll be here soon. I just sent out an email, he come like iTunes. Dude, follow me all over the world. Stop that junk, do this like I'm on, yo. Nah, I never touch your stuff. I keep it humble, baby, keep it hype, cause I'm tough. That's real. The law realist, law killers hate on me. Stop that junk, yo, you couldn't debate me if you had me, see. Hello, hello, hello. You are here with Dave Jose, and I wanted to come to you today and put a little bit of work in on something that is very, very, very important. As you know, I have taught people for a few years to use affidavits and notices. And I had someone who I actually started teaching law in the beginning, getting them interested and starting to learn. They ended up going down the line of an assembly group, and they started to get into a lot of foolishness that actually you cannot find in law. And, for me, I just can't roll that way. I can't get down like that. I believe in showing proof for what I say and exposing to the people what the real law says. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the photo of what the woman said. This is not an attack at her. It's important for the people to be able to see this. So if we look here, this is a picture from Sophias, and it says, an affidavit. I cannot believe that an affidavit is considered hearsay in most courts. Now, the one big problem that we're going to have is, what does she mean when she says most courts? Because most of the things that people are getting in trouble in are called legislative tribunals. They're created by the legislature. The rules of court are in the legislature. It's not an actual court. And a lot of these things are executive branch entities carrying out things that they don't have the power to. Now, she says it's true. After researching a little bit, it cannot be cross-examined, which is its greatest weakness. Now, you got to be careful when you say that it cannot be cross-examined. I'm going to prove to you with the fundamental principles of law called the maxims of law that she's really confused in what she's saying and she's mixing up things. But when somebody says it cannot be cross-examined, so if I create an affidavit and I swear that something happened, right? In law, in order to deal with what somebody says that I did wrong, I need to respond under penalty of perjury by affidavit and rebut their claims point by point, or they'll actually stand as true. So when the police send you a ticket, they're creating a document that they're saying you did something wrong. And if you don't rebut it, they're saying what they said you did is true. When you deal with CPS, they're making some claims on paper and they accept those claims as true, even though they're not swearing to it. In a legislative tribunal, they're accepting it as true if you don't rebut. Now, she says thousands of people signed and notarized affidavits to prove fraud in the 2020 election. Actually, that's not what happened. People didn't sign affidavits to prove fraud. What they did was sign affidavits to show the irregularities and the issues that happened in the 2020 election so that the government officials could see evidence that something was wrong because multiple people had the same issues. That's not trying to prove fraud. To prove fraud, you would have to know who did it, be able to point at somebody. To show maladministration or that somebody is not following lawful process, you say, hey, there was 1,000 of us who got given Sharpies. Simple, right? Now watch this. This is where she makes more error. She says, none of us were deposed nor asked to testify under oath on the court record. Another mistake by someone who's not understanding law clearly. Let's check this out. Why would you have to be deposed if you already have a document swearing that something is true? In order for somebody to say what you're saying is untrue, they have to swear by affidavit saying that, no, that's not what happened. Now, she said you should be able to testify under oath on the court record. There's no need to testify under oath on the court record when you are creating a record that is being presented to the court. She says if you can't cross-examine someone, they're useless in your case. Now, this doesn't make sense because if a police officer comes to someone's home and they say, listen, this guy punched me in the face, and they got a mark on their face, and a witness says, yeah, I'll swear to it, they punched her in the face. Under that written testimony, that person can be arrested on the spot. On the spot. It is not looked at as hearsay, it's looked at as witnesses are swearing under oath that something is true. But let's not just take my word for it. I want to show you some real fire in law, because this woman is making a clear mistake, not understanding what it is that she is saying. So what I want to do is get a couple of pictures, and I want to prove to you how this works. So firstly, when you are dealing with a situation in a court, what's happening is you are going before them, and you have to swear under oath in court. Now, when you are outside of court and you write an affidavit, you are making a claim that someone harmed you. Now, when you look here in the picture I have before you, you look at 87H. This is a maxim of law, fundamental principle of law. He who does not deny admits. So when you fail to respond to an affidavit saying that you did wrong, you are agreeing that you did wrong. Now, she says, well, they could be heard as hearsay. Well, that's when you don't know how to do an affidavit, because an affidavit with a jurat at the bottom is actually the notary swearing you in, saying that what you are saying, you're presenting as truth. 84H, watch this. In law, none is credited unless he is sworn. All facts must, when established by witnesses, be under oath or affirmation. See, this is what happens when you are not doing real affidavits and you are doing acknowledgments. You're getting someone to acknowledge that you wrote something, and you're not actually using, give me 1 second. You're not actually using something called a jurat. And when you're not using that jurat, you're just acknowledging that you wrote something. Now, you can have a record that is proven in court, right? And you can have a record that is proven by the facts outside of court. So what I want to do is I want to let you see how the jurat works. So if we look here, no one is believed in court but upon his oath. In law, none is credited unless he is sworn. So when your documents are sworn before you present it to the court, and you give the other side a chance
to answer, and they don't answer, they put themselves in a situation where they lose by what's called tacit acquiescence. Now, when you present that evidence to a court, if you're going to use a court, or if you give the judiciary a notice, judicial notice is a form of evidence. So what we do is we create affidavits. We put these different actors in different parts of government on notice. We let them know what really happened and how it is not following the law by affidavit sworn under the penalty of perjury. Because in their entities, they believe that they're doing right until somebody shows them that there's a breaking of the law. Look at 39V. All things are presumed to be lawfully done and duly performed until the contrary is proved. See, they can just go and act like they're carrying out cases to help children. They're carrying out cases to make sure that people are following things that will keep them safe with mandates. Until you present them with an affidavit showing them that they are breaking the law, it is presumed that it is lawful. See, people who don't really understand the law make a lot of mistakes that will get us in trouble, and they shoot down what is right to chase after things that are wrong. Let's look at 39O. What is proved by record ought not to be denied. You can make a record outside of the actual court. You can make a record outside the actual court. Now, the court rules of evidence allows for you to present affidavits in order to prove your case. And if they interfere with your ability to present affidavits, they are going against your rights. Don't believe me? Let's read 39HH. The rules of evidence are of great importance and cannot be departed without endangering private as well as public rights. Now, most of these people running around can't tell you that you have a difference between your private and public rights. You have a civis or a civil body that offers some protections that are civil rights, and then you have private rights that are exclusive to you that can be defended. And when you write an affidavit, it is you as one of the people making claims about your rights, what is right, what happens in situations, what the actual law says, because we don't want them going around presuming that they're following the law. Now, based on what I see from Sophia's post, she believes that affidavits are not legit. They can be thrown out as hearsay. The only way an affidavit can be called hearsay is if the stuff in it is hearsay. That's why we stick to the facts and the law and what is true, right? That's it. Nobody's going to be able to rebut our affidavits. Our affidavits, when they are not answered, stands as truth in law. That is a maxim of law. So, you got to be careful, because a lot of people are getting dragged around in all these different groups, believing all these different things. Remember, Arizona audit, right? We got an audit in Arizona in 2020. That was started by Josh Barnett and I doing notices and affidavits. We had Jovan Hutton Pulitzer turn in evidence that has never been seen before, and evidence that is so powerful and mighty. And notice that the legislature didn't deny that that was real evidence and he had access to the real ballots. They didn't say that, right? He presented the evidence, and Josh Barnett set up the event and hosted it. And news media came, some of the legislative body members came, but it was not at the Senate building. So let's not get it twisted. We have done things that are unbelievable. Wisconsin, we've done affidavits and notices, and we got government officials falling apart. They're probably on the verge of nullifying the 2020 election there, and we had a ton to do with that. We're on the public record there. We're having success and victory in ways that are unheard of. We have PMA wins all over the country where we actually win against attorney generals. Some people try to steal what we do, but and sell it to people, right? Not knowing the truth, not knowing everything. But we have those victories using affidavits, notices, and the same things I'm talking to you about. And they don't call us sovereign citizens. We're having victory, and government is learning from us. So I want you guys to see this and understand this. There's a lot of crazy teaching going around. I don't want you to be twisted up or tripped up by foolishness that's being sold to the people, as what is real in law, when the people are having massive victory using what it is that works. So that affidavit is not this or that talk, is a bunch of bull. All right. So I just proved it to y'all with real law. Anybody who says some silly stuff like this, ask them to show you in real law where the law says that, right? And they're not going to be able to do it. That junk is garbage, right? If you put real truth, real facts in affidavits, it's game to freak on. You're going to be in a good spot as long as you continue to press. All right? So this is Dave Jose dealing with Sophia's Zori comment about affidavits not being legit or all this bull, right? That's the truth for you. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Joe, drop that beat for me again. Let's do it again. Let's go. Here we go. Just playing around with my man Joe Grimm. I'm rocking heavy. I used to wear big Tims. Wear some jeans, yo, never too slim. Too tough for that junk day. Keep it really dim. Keep it really grim. Get it, baby. Got it. Hide it. Stop the junk. You think you're hot, but you're not the real topic.
All right, so we call that, here, let's see, can we put this up so you can see it? All right, so if you go onto Rumble and then you follow Dave Cares For You, right, you can get this heat too, right? So here's a fun bit, right? So that takes me back to the old school bootlegs, right? Because back in the day, before you had all this ripping technology, people would go into the movie theater and then they would take their camcorder or whatever, and then they would record the films that were showing in the movie theater, and then they would sell that to other people. So basically, this is my version of a bootleg David Jose bit. All right, so that's it. I'm done. You guys go have some fun, because now we're going to upload this up to the YouTube, and then we'll be able to let the YouTube people see what the Dave heat is, man, because we're winning. There's just so much winning going on, right? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.